The PlayStation 5 was announced back in August of 2020 and was released in November of that same year. However, it's become almost impossible to obtain because of scumbag scalpers artificially raising the demand and demand being so high in itself. I had almost lost all hope of obtaining a PS5 due to every website saying out of stock. However, that all changed when I got an email from Sony themselves offering me a chance to buy one. Taking the opportunity without a second thought, I obtained my PS5, and I'm here to bring you my opinions on this latest console. My name is Neutron, and this is my review of the PS5. For this review, I'll be going over the design, the UI, the controller, graphics, gameplay, and my overall thoughts. First, let's start with the design. I'll admit, when I first saw the PS5, I was a bit underwhelmed. I mean, we all saw the Kyber memes. I also had my worries about how the size would be a bit encumbersome due to how I usually set up my consoles facing down. However, after getting the console and setting it up, I have to say that this design has grown on me. The white on the PS5 stands out from the previous generations, which helps make a major impression when looked up close. The black in the center brings your eyes right to the glowing light so that you know what mode the console is in, and the disc slot is on the side and visible, which helps me since there were times on my PS4 where I completely forgot where the disc slot was. And lastly, the component that acts like a stand requires you to screw it in with a screwdriver. However, once screwed in, the stand is quite useful. In fact, when I was placing it, I couldn't really decide where I wanted to place it. Right next to my TV, on the side, on the floor. It was kind of helpful with how I would say I'm not used to standing my consoles up, but this is a quality change and I approve of it. And while I was unsure of this design at first, I have to say I'm digging this latest design for the PS5, so say I give it a 8 out of 10, let's say. Next, let's talk about the UI. When I first turned on the PlayStation 5, I noticed a gray background with golden particles. It made turning the console on feel like it was regal, like I was making a machine built by royalty. Though I do have a problem with the setup. I made the mistake of activating the voice of the PS5, and it reading every single word on the screen got old after 5 minutes. Luckily, the voice is optional and can be turned off in the settings. And when looking at the UI on the home screen, I believe that the developers are going for a more compact experience. What I mean is that there are only 2 tabs on the top left corner for games and media. The games and applications are much smaller than their PS4 counterparts, showing only the box art for the game, and when selected, it'll play a bit of atmospheric music to get the player in the mood, which is a nice touch. On the right hand side of the screen, there is the search icon, the settings icon, the user icon, along with the current time. The option to turn off the PS5 or return to the home screen are found at the bottom of the screen when you press the PS button on your controller, which felt a bit cumbersome at first, but I quickly got used to it. The developers hit out the park with the UI by keeping everything neat and clean, but while able to get the point across to the player. And I hope they continue this trend with the next console generation. Now let's talk about the controller. I'll admit, when I first saw the controller, I assumed it was too bulky and angular to function. I thought that others and I would have a hard time operating it. However, after playing a few games, I can say that's not the case. The controller fits perfectly in my hand and the buttons are perfectly responsive. The white and black on the controller match the console, which is helpful for synergy. The buttons and sticks are in the same spot as previous generations, and the touchpad from the PS4 has been brought back. which not only helps with the home screen but in gameplay itself. For example, in the Miles Morales game, you swipe the touchpad left to use the in-game app to help the citizens of Harlem, which is a pretty nice touch, and I hope that more games feature something like this in the future. But also, I bought the Cosmic Red controller, and I have to say it's my favorite shade of red, and I haven't been able to put it down ever since. Like, I've barely touched my white controller, and I have to kind of remind myself to use both controllers now and then. But that's just a testament of how it was designed. But let's talk about graphics and gameplay. The graphics on the PS5 are pure eye candy. Unfortunately, my computer can only show 1080p at 60 frames per second. However, the maximum resolution for the PS5 is 4K, or 3840 by 2160 for the nerds out there. And I must say, playing 3 games at this resolution is quite amazing. First off, the Miles Morales game. You can tell it was made to show off what the PS5 can do. The combat feels so much smoother than its PS4 counterpart. Swinging throughout the city feels so natural, and doing all the tricks in the air just added that extra, I don't know how to describe it, that extra flair to swinging. And I can't wait to see what else is in store for me in this game. And for Ratchet and Clank, the classic duo returns for an interdimensional adventure. This game has so many colors that an edgelord would smile. And while a lot happens on the screen, it's never too much, and it shows just what the PS5 can handle. Guilty Gear Strive. When I first booted up Guilty Gear Strive on my TV, the brightness was a bit much for me, like my eyes started to hurt. However, that was easily fixed, and Strive looked amazing on the PS4, and on the PS5 it looks even better. And I truly can't wait to see what future games and future implements developers do for graphics and presentation. And my overall thoughts, and should you buy a PS5? The PS5 is an impressive console. While it is on the bigger end, the stand helps out with placement, especially when you're looking to save space. The UI is compact and smartly designed. The controller is quite comfortable and eye-pleasing, especially in different colors. The graphics in 4K look spectacular. However, should you buy it? I can't recommend doing such unless you have an opportunity to buy it. One major crutch for this early console is the lack of games to play. And by that I mean games that weren't ported from the PS4, like original games made for the PS5. I would say wait until there are a few more games on the shelves, or wait until Sony sends you an email like they did with me. Though I'm hoping those scumbag scalpers get their comeuppance for robbing everyone of this experience, especially on Christmas last year. That was inexcusable. But hey, those are just my opinions on the PS5. What do you guys think? Is it a good console? Is it a bad one? Do you hate the colors? Let me know in the comments. But my name's Nerdtron, and I'm signing out. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe. Oh, and follow me on Twitch. I stream every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Peace.